Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to do something different. I've been on the subject of kind of what do I do best, right? What's my special talent in this world, and what's my special field of knowledge? And it is learning a second language, to put it simply. I've been spending so much time talking about learning English as if I was learning a second language, because that's what I'm imagining for you guys as you're learning English. But just to help illustrate the learning process, I'm just gonna go straight into this. I'm gonna teach a little Japanese to help you guys see where I'm coming from. My thinking process is I was a guy that didn't know Japanese, and now I am a guy who does know Japanese. It's just like Taekwondo or basketball or stock market trading. It's all the same thing. It's like you didn't know what it was at the beginning, and now all of a sudden you because you've been doing it. And I really think that my biggest skill actually is has been the acquisition of Japanese. I mean, it's a big um, daunting task that never ends. So, I'm not totally fluent, but pretty good. So, let's do lesson one, okay? This is going to be good. I want to kind of emphasize the conversation of the language. Why? Because hopefully you're going to be talking to people, not staring at a fucking TV. You know what I mean? Like if you're reading anime and like manga and shit like that, and you're just reading kanji, that's a great, more power to you kind of thing. But the presumption of this entire video is that you actually want to talk to people. So, with that in mind, um, we're going to skip greetings because, anybody could say konnichiwa or something like that. So, the first lesson is, without further ado, it's going to be, 何してんの何してんの何してんの何してんの So, I'll speed it up again to 何してんの. And then I really want you to pay attention to, obviously, the pronunciation of what I said. So, nani shite no. I also want you to pay attention to the melody, the intonation of it. So it's nani shite no, and it kind of curves up at the end like a question does, right? But nani shite no, nani shite no, nani shite no. If any of you have actually been learning Japanese, throw that out the window for the moment. Just pay attention to the sound. This is the casual, normal way, as if you were talking to a friend on a personal level. The textbooks kind of give you this polite crap that nobody, well, I mean, you do use it, but let's just one step at a time. So you're with your buddy, your Japanese buddy, your Japanese speaking buddy, because I know a lot of Chinese people and Korean people, for example, that speak Japanese. I know a Tunisian dude. We speak Japanese to each other. Anyway, so the assumption is you're talking to somebody that speaks Japanese, and the question you're going to ask this person is, 何してんの? 何してんの? And you're asking, what are you doing? That's what you're asking. You're like, hey, you obviously, if he's drinking a beer, watching TV, obviously you know what he's doing because you see what he's doing with your eyeball. You just need to associate that visual image with the sound, right? But how do you get it out of him? You don't have to say like, excuse me, what is the verb for what you're doing? You just say a very simple question. What are you doing? And he'll tell you the answer. I'm drinking a beer. I'm watching TV. I'm writing a report. Whatever it is, because you're visually observing what that action is, you just have to associate that visual with the audio that he gives back to you. So, be like, 何してんの動画作ってる. That would be my answer if you were talking to me. So, 何してんの動画を作ってる. 動画作ってる. And so, 動画, I'm making a video. Uh,動画作ってる. But it doesn't matter the answer for right now. What you need to do is you need to initiate the content that you're going to be listening to. And that content that you're going to be listening to is what you need to be paying attention to and listening to and like mimicking. But that will depend on who you talk to. So I don't want to give you answers. I just want to give you questions. And by giving you questions and by you actually going out to the real world and using these questions, you'll be getting answers that are relative to your life as it's happening in real time. Not like textbook fake time, like real your life now. Like observe your buddy and listen to what he has to say and go from there, right? But the initiating question that we can go into in much detail later is just simply 何してんの?何してんの?何してんの? And really mimic what I'm saying. Obviously, I might have a little of a foreigner twang on what I'm saying. So if you can listen to a real Japanese person, native speaker, really try to mimic it as best as you can. And mimicking is just simply listening and trying to reproduce that sound as best as you can. Again, 何してんの?何してんの?何してんの? I'm not even going to explain how it's really supposed to be as far as the textbook is concerned. Trust me. 何してんの?何してんの? And that's your homework. Try to find a native Japanese speaker or anybody, other people learning, and just practice that question and listen to the answer. And you don't need a dictionary to figure it out. If he's got a bottle of beer in his hand and he says, ビール飲んでる, figure it out. ビール飲んでる. And if you do this enough, if you go through a few patterns like ビール飲んでる, 動画作ってる, 宿題やってる, you're going to hear these grammatical patterns repeat themselves over and over again. And you don't need a dictionary to kind of explain it to you, because if you asked, what are you doing? He's obviously telling you what he's doing, which would be I'm drinking or I'm watching or I'm anything with the ing at the end of it. So don't overanalyze this. What are you doing? I'm making a video. I mean, it's like literally right there. The answer is right in front of your face, and you just have to listen to it and remember the tangible sounds that the person is saying for you. So, again, your question is, I've said it like 500 times already, so you should already know it by now. But, 何してんの?何してんの? Try that, and if you can, post how it's doing, like you go to the comments or whatever and try this out. But this is like real Japanese and not that fake polite stuff, and give it a shot. And if people tell you, dude, you got to learn like polite Japanese, just smile and thank them for their input, and we can talk later about that. But I'm giving you the real stuff, not the any kind of feigned politeness and respect about the Japanese society and polite language and stuff. That's all another subject. We're just going to stick with plain, daily. This is something you say to your family members, and this is something you say to your friends. So give it a shot. 何してんの? And please report back to me. Take it easy. じゃあまたね.